What is the Senate so afraid of that you might find out is going on in Gaza that they won't even look into the situation? I'm not saying they won't do anything about the situation. Obviously, they're not gonna do anything. They're not gonna challenge Biden. They're not gonna speak out in a strong way. They're not gonna showcase leadership on the world stage. But now they won't even just look into the claims that human rights violations are being made. And we know that because Bernie Sanders pushed for an investigation and a report to be written about the claims that are being made and whether there's any evidence of it. And it was killed 72-11. And the coverage of it is, you can see the headline right there. Senate rejects Sanders' resolution on human rights violations in Gaza, but Democrats signal growing concern. I guess 11 people didn't want to kill the report. The report that isn't gonna save any lives. It would just teach us a little bit about what's going on there. And so I guess that's something. Let's put up the names. Here are those who voted against killing the report. And in addition to a bunch of Democrats, you also have Rand Paul, who you can occasionally expect to do the right thing on topics like this. Sometimes, not always. By the way, the administration did not back this resolution. John Kirby, National Security Council, said it's not the right vehicle to address these issues. I will remind you all, it's a report. It is not a change to the amount of funding being provided. It is not a call for a declaration of genocide. It is literally just, we want to know what is happening, what is not happening, because there's so much disinformation. And the Senate's like, no, I would really prefer to stick my head in the sand and just let whatever is gonna happen over there happen. Francesca, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I am very torn because I think Bernie Sanders could have been and should have been more of a leader to stop what is going on in Gaza, which is a genocide. 24,000 people killed, hospitals targeted, the last hospital in Gaza now besieged, children disproportionately killed. Need we go on? The amount of starvation that they are facing. But I am glad he brought this, right? This is one of those moments where you see something that's so super politically unpopular and yet so morally imperative that we bring to the floor, that we try, that we attempt to do whatever we can. I don't think Bernie has done whatever he can, but this is something. And I think it is good that these senators tried to keep it alive. I am actually kind of heartened that LaFonza Butler, who is effectively a Gavin Newsom appointee here in California, also stood with this to continue to investigate. Again, it is just an investigation. We need to look forward to a US foreign policy where we say, and we write into our massive military budgets, that we do not give any country weapons or any kind of military aid if they are engaging in genocide, period. We should not, and that has been attempted to be written into the National Defense Authorization Act every single year. It has been stripped out of it. But it is not out of question. The last thing is, look, South Africa has put the United States on notice. They have put Joe Biden on notice saying, oh, you're next. We're bringing you before the court, the International Court of Justice, to atone, to basically be accountable for your crimes in assisting and funding this genocide. And still, we don't want anything. We want to know. We don't want to know. And I think the craziest part about it is now we're involved in an even deeper war. Every American president, I guess, has to have theirs. And now we are bombing the Houthi rebels in Yemen, and kicking up even more stuff with Iran. So it's just like, this is the minimum. It's the minimum, but we can't even do that. And then we wonder why we can't, why the whole world hates us, and why we don't have any money for things here at home.
Yeah, you're totally right about it being the minimum. Well, I guess it's not the minimum. Absolutely nothing is the minimum, I suppose, and that's what we're doing. We're just sitting by and allowing horrific acts to happen right now. Like, I'm sitting at this desk, and you're at home. Maybe you're in a couch. Maybe you're at your desk. Maybe you're listening while driving. Please don't look at the screen. And people are being blown apart right now. And our elected leaders, aside from 11, are like, yeah, let's just let's see what happens. So let's just, and they specifically say, well, it's not the right time to do it right now because Israel is saying that it's shifting to a more targeted campaign. And we should probably give them the benefit of the doubt for weeks over that, despite the fact that they've been saying the entire time that it's been super targeted, and yet over 20,000 people have already been killed. So let's just let it happen for a little bit longer. Let's let more of the infrastructure be destroyed. Let's let more of the homes be destroyed. Let's let people be herded closer and closer to the border with Egypt, and that'll probably be fine. That's what's happening. Like sitting by while horrific things are done and not even speaking out against it. I'm not even saying doing anything. By the way, if this had been proposed and voted on, we here at the Damage Report might have done a segment attacking it as ridiculously nothing in its essential nature. Like you could be doing something and instead you're just doing a report, and yet we're put in this position where they're not even gonna do that. And so my fear, Francesca, and I will tee it up to you for a final comment on this, is I feel like the eyes of the world were on this for a few months. I feel like we're in a new year. I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on. I feel like people are starting to look away. And I feel like those who are perfectly happy with that 20,000 hitting 30 or 40 or 50,000 are like, if we just hang in there for a little bit longer, nobody's gonna be paying attention, then we can do whatever we want. That's my fear.
I mean, the problem is, and looking at a purely self-interested angle, this doesn't go away. You can kill as many Palestinians as you want, and so long as the United States backs Israel hook, line, and sinker and funds it to the tune of $3 billion a year, they will continue to be a massive liability for United States credibility and security, not only in the Middle East, but around the world. We are now in a more precarious point than ever before. If we still had that stupid tiers of what terror level we were at, we'd probably be code orange or red right now. So don't think that this doesn't happen with blowback, right? Don't think that this is the last that we're gonna see of it, that, oh yeah, once we wipe Palestinians on Gaza off the map, the United States can just, everything will be peaceful then, which is what Israel wants us to believe, as sick as that sounds. It will not happen. Who knows? Maybe in 4 to 6 years, your children will be conscripted to go to a war against Iran that can date back to this very moment, and the fact that we didn't just do nothing, we funded it.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.